Hi everyone, this is Brooke Skidmore with Awaken Rise, and today is Monday, July 20th. And today I wanted to share a performance tip that you can use to help boost your confidence. So many of my athletes and performers come in with that goal. How can I increase my confidence? And there's lots of things that we can talk about related to confidence, but today I wanted to share a tip regarding our self-talk. I promised you we would revisit this topic, and so here we are again. And I think our self-talk is so huge. It's so deeply impactful to our confidence and our performance, our focus, and our ability to achieve whatever we're trying to do. And so it's interesting that so many of my athletes come in kind of reporting some pretty negative self-talk. And when you think about it, we hear our voice more than anyone else's voice. So self-talk is important. And the interesting thing about our self-talk too is that oftentimes we are telling our things that are simply not true. But the more we say it, the more we hear it in our minds, the more we start to believe it. And so that's why it's important to acknowledge what we're telling ourselves. Is it true or not? And what could I say to myself to give myself more confidence and to enhance my chances of being successful at whatever I'm trying to do. So one thing I like to talk about with a lot of my athletes is basically like, what am I saying to myself? Am I saying things that are more negative, meaning don't do this, or no more of this, or I can't do this, versus more positive or action oriented? And when you think about it, let's give the example of shooting a free throw. Maybe I missed my first one. So it's common for a lot of athletes to think to themselves, don't miss, or don't miss again, or don't do that again. And sure, that's true. I don't want that to happen again. But the interesting thing about the brain and body connection is the more I think about something, the more something is going through my brain, the body starts to follow that thought. So even though I say don't, the body, the brain kind of hears miss. And so one example I use with so many of my athletes is, if I told you right now, whatever you do, don't think about a juicy red apple. What are you thinking about right now? Probably a juicy red apple, right? So the brain doesn't hear the don't, it kind of goes straight to that stronger image. So instead of thinking don't miss, the brain is thinking about the miss. And my chances of missing go way up, even if I'm telling myself don't do it. So one thing that we can do to help our performance is to try to take out any of that negative verbiage. And I've listed a few common negatives here. So for example, no, like no more misses, or no more dogging it in the back of the team. If I take that no out, the brain is just hearing the dogging it part. I also want to take out any don'ts. Again, the brain doesn't hear the don't. It goes straight to the whatever I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to tell myself I can't. What do you think the chances are of you performing well or doing something well if I'm already telling myself I can't do this? And then lastly, this is kind of shocking to some people, but we want to take out any words out that say I should, I must, or I have to. That kind of verbiage kind of gives the impression of pressure, or it's not my choice. I have to do something. I must do something. We want to insert words that are more autonomous. So what should I be saying to myself then to perform at my best? Some things we want to insert into our vocabulary are things like I will, or I am. So I will make this next shot, or I am a fast runner. A common one I try to encourage a lot of my athletes is do whatever it is. So instead of thinking don't miss, I want to think extend or follow through, or I want to think make this next one. Some of my athletes, for example, basketball, again, they just say the word splash in their mind, thinking that I just want to hear it. I want to see the ball in the bucket. I just want to hear the splash of the net. And then a more autonomous phrase would be I get to. So not I have to or I must, but I get to do this. I'm grateful to be here, kind of thing. So you might try that this week in whatever it is you're working towards, whether it's a business presentation, whether it's in sport or performance, is to think about what you want to have happen and to focus on that kind of self-talk. Saying to yourself, do this specifically, or I will, I am, I get to do this. So good luck with that this week, everyone. Have a great week.